you about is that what is the curriculum or the course structure. Okay, what we will be focusing on, how we are going to move throughout the course in order to learn the FortiGate firewall. Okay, and also I will show you the firewall and it's like the basic in and out of the firewall to like get an idea how the FortiGate firewall looks like. Okay, so starting with uh, my introduction first. So my name is Rohan, and I carry more than a decade of working experience throughout the OEM companies, product-based companies. Okay, so I have worked closely with almost all the clients, ranging from lower level to the enterprise level. Okay, you name it, I have worked with them. Okay, so it's like this is what I bring on the table. I bring the real world production challenges. I know what the customer wants, what the customer is looking for, how to handle the customers, what are the problems, what they will be looking for. And the main thing is how to approach them, right? Because after all, everyone is looking for their solutions. So I know that you will not be always in a place that you can give a solution to the customer on the call, right? But and you may also not be in a place or like a state that you can give something to the customer saying that, okay, hey, this is the problem, or like that is the problem, or like this is the workaround or something like that. You may not also be able to do that during some calls, during some videos. So
Uh,
I will like help you out to navigate through that as
all
well,
right.
how to think.
Mhm.
Lakan, is there something?
Well, huh.
Sir, you are on mute.
Okay. So like I was saying, that more and less I am going to be more focused with reference to give you an insight, give you a thought process in order to help you to navigate through the firewall, not only with reference to configuration, but more likely in order to troubleshoot the product. Okay, so that's my core objective. When I say that we are going to learn the FortiGate firewall, I'm not talking only about the configuration part. Configuration is secondary. The main primary part is troubleshooting, how we can navigate our path. Okay. So that being said, let me show you. Okay, what is my qualification? As in what? As in degrees or something like that? Or qualification as in what? For both. Okay. So as far as degree is concerned, certifications and all. Okay. So like I've said, I have worked with almost all the product companies. Okay. I have been part of them. So I had got chance to earn a lot of certificates, okay, across the product line, ranging from Fortigate, Palo, Checkpoint, Juniper, Cisco, okay, so Force. So, and there are a few more, okay, with reference to clouds as well. That is what I carry. I navigate myself in the security domain specifically. I do not link myself as a router or a switching guy. I link myself as a security person. Okay, so my key expertise lies in that domain. Okay, now that being said, I am currently I like cannot disclose something about me as of now, but just giving you an idea, I am sitting on top of an attack. If no one is able to do anything, the thing comes to me, and no one is above me. So my only job is not to say no. I cannot say no. I have to find the solution. Okay, I have to make it work, whether it is with reference to the code label modification or a change in the product design, whatever that is, but I have to make it work. Okay, so that is what I do. Okay, so but I have reached that place, like I said, working in this industry for more than 10 years, right? So I have climbed the ladders ranging from L1 guy being a normal system engineer, climbing up to that PE level. Okay, now as far as the degree and education goes, I think it's not a hard to guess that I am holding a BTech, right? And more than that, an MTech holder also. Okay, but mostly I'm looking for the cybersecurity aspect. So mostly that is what I am making my goal as a career currently. Okay, so I'm still a learner. Okay, I'm still a student who is like still trying to learn this very vast domain. Cybersecurity is something which is not a child's play. You will give your 30 to 40 years, but still we may not be able to cover all the aspects that how this domain is, right? So, but yes, we all are in this journey together, right? So that is what I'm also doing. Clear? I cannot give you the specifics, but yes, I have. Okay. Now, fine. Now, see in here, no matter what I have worked on or what I'm working on or what I'm trying to learn and all, that's not an key point of this course. The key point is that what we are going to learn in this course, what we are going to have for the next 6 to 7 weeks, right? So that being said, we are going to focus specifically and only on the FortiGate firewall. That's the only product that we are going to focus on, okay? In and out of the FortiGate firewall. When I say in and out of the FortiGate firewall, now, in and out FortiGate firewall means we will start from the basics, ranging to the top. Okay, that means how the product is designed. I'm not saying that I will tell you about the inside structure of the physical design and all. That is something which is worthless. That is no need to give a hit to it. But yes, you should know the basic structure of your firewall. You should know how your firewall processes the traffic. Because if you do not know that, you cannot fix a problem. Let me support this statement with an example. And I will come to the question what is asked by Lakhan. Okay, so just give me a moment, okay? Now, see, why I'm saying that you should learn the basics of the firewall is because, let's say, you are about to go to the office, right? And you sat in your car and you took a self start and your car is not starting. What you will do? If you know the basics of your car, how does it work? Some basics, right? You will check your batteries, petrol, something, right? Okay, you will do your basic checks because you know, okay, these are the essential things, basic things which needs to be there so that my car takes and self. Okay, you will look for the indicators which may point out that your battery is low or something, right? There's some fault in the engines or something. You will see that on your dashboards, right? If you even do not know that, how will you navigate? Anyone can come and like say anything about that, okay, this is the fault of your car, and like you will be ending up paying something more which is not needed. That might not be the problem, right? So whenever you do not know something, you will call someone who knows how to fix it. Since we're talking about the mechanics here, so you are going to call someone who knows your car, right? The person who is like good to fix your problem. Now there are some mechanics who will simply ask you, okay, hey, can you please take a self? And when you take a self, they will just by the sound of the engine, they can know where is the problem, and they will pinpoint to that, right? There are someone who will take a little more time to fix the problem, right? The same goes in our field also. The customer has called you, hey, I'm having this problem with your firewall. By hearing the problem, depending upon your extensive case handling, how long you have worked on to the cases and how deeply you have worked with your own, you might be able to fix the problem just by hearing what the issue statement is. That's a state where you might be reaching or you might be currently at. But you might be at certain stage where you have to navigate a lot to find out the root cause, right? So that being said, so that can only happen if you know how the firewall works. When the firewall receives a packet, what does it do? Okay. Does it do policy? Does it do routing? Does it do NATing? Does it do UTM? Does it do SSL? What it does, right? So that's why I'm saying we will start with the basics of the firewall. And then we will try to build up our concepts onto that. Okay. Because the core motive of this course, as I've mentioned before, let me repeat that again, is not to give you simply a configuration knowledge. That is something which you will get from the Google itself. Okay. Configuration is something which you can learn from the Google. I'm not here to teach you that. I am here to tell you how to think troubleshooting, how to troubleshoot. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, I see some messages in here. Let me go through that first. Okay, see, coming to Lakan question, SD-WAN, Fortinet SD-WAN. Okay, see, SD-WAN, yes, we are going to cover SD-WAN in the Fortigate firewall because SD-WAN is an inbuilt feature in the like Fortigate firewall. Now, how is that difference like how is it different between the SD-WAN as a feature in the Fortigate firewall and SD-WAN as a different device, right? How is it that different? Okay, so to answer that, let me give you an analogy. Or let me ask you this question. Do you think that if you have, or if you know how to work on Cisco router, does it mean that you should learn the routing part for the firewall as well? Do you think that? If you know how does the BGP work on Cisco router, do you need to learn the BGP on the Cisco ASA firewall? No, no.
No, no.
You know how does the NATing work on a Cisco router? Do you need to learn the NATing for the Cisco firewall? No, right?
No.
The point what I'm trying to make here is SD-WAN as a device, if anyone has worked onto it, or you can just Google it and find out. SD-WAN as a device also supports VPN functionality. It also supports UTM functionality. You also have to create policies. It supports NATing. It supports what? Interface configurations, UTM features, SSL inspections and all, right? Everything's there. SD-WAN has now been capable to provide you the IPS functionalities as well. Okay. Now, all these things what I've mentioned is part of the firewall also, right? Correct. Now, like I put an example in here that if I know the Cisco router functioning, why do you need me to learn this router as in separate for the firewall, right? Because it's the same concept, right? So why do you want me to learn that? That doesn't make sense. So if I learn the firewall, router is automatically covered. But there is a difference between a router and a firewall, right? There is something what firewall can do, what router cannot. There is something what switch can do and router cannot. That's why we have switch, router, and firewall currently in the market, right? That's why we have three different devices, because each device is helping us to solve something which no one could do. And because, and let me emphasize on one more point to give you a thought. SD-WAN is something which you might not have heard 5 years back. 5 years back, the world was running, right? With this switches, routers, firewalls, and the load balancers, right? The world was running, but there was something that the business needed. As we were moving further in the 21st century, the business requirement changed. Something changed, right? What the customer wanted. So there was a problem which the firewall, which the router, which the switch was not able to address. And that's why a new product came into market. And that is SD-WAN. That's why you are hearing the SD-WAN since 5 or 6 years, right? Before that, you have never heard of it. When you started learning the network, did you heard about SD-WAN? No, right? So what is that? So, like I said, your FortiGate firewall is capable to provide you the SD-WAN functionality. I will tell you what is the problem. What was the problem which none of the devices were able to solve and why we needed the SD-WAN as a solution. If you know that essence of the device, your SD-WAN is done and dusted. Because if you will see the SD-WAN as a separate product itself, most of the features, 90% of that is already something which the firewall supports. So there is no difference. Like I said about Cisco router and the firewall, right? So there is no difference onto that. But there is something what is unique in the SD-WAN, right? So that something part is supported in the Fortigate firewall. Okay, so when I will tell you about the SD-WAN, I will talk about those things. And when you will combine that solution with the firewall, you know how to work on the SD-WAN. Clear? And that statement is true for any SD-WAN device that you will come across. Any doubts onto that part? Clear?
Thank you.
Okay, now coming to the next one, I see one more question. VPN 40 client with tokens, load balancing, redundancy, also troubleshooting comments. So Amandeep, are you asking me that whether these things will be covered or not? That is what you're asking me?
Yes, actually, this is my expectations. Like, if a new company wants to implement Fortinet Firewall to the network
Mhm.
and they want their employees to work remotely with
Mhm.
VPN
Yes,
and with secure way, like
yes,
40,
got it.
we have 40 client and it sends the tokens to emails and
Mhm.
then they are able to log in. And apart from this, the load balancing and this
Clustering.
redundancy, like
Yes.
they have
Right.
two broadband connections, one leased line,
Mm.
and also like one Wi-Fi network,
Yes.
something. So there are
Okay.
three, four networks, internets there. So they want that it should be like their lease line should be primary, and this should be
Got
secondary,
your
and
point.
then sub-secondary, and along with that they also balance the load. They also divide the load so that
Traffic distribution,
one
yes.
traffic distribution.
Mm.
So if I am able to configure all these things along with
Mhm.
the common troubleshootings, the
Mhm.
common issues which
Mhm.
comes, then I think I am in.
Okay, fine. So let me answer this question in a simple manner. So what I'm getting is that you want to know that if I go through this course, will I be able to deploy, manage, and troubleshoot the FortiGate firewall in the production network or not, no matter whatever that customer design or whatever the requirement is. That is what you are asking for. The
Yes.
answer to that is yes, you will be. And that's why we are here.
Mhm.
Okay. And see why I'm saying that, because the point is we will be going through each and every concept. Okay, let me answer your question with which is anyhow the point what I was going to mention henceforth. So how we are going to move along in this course. Okay. So first thing, keep in mind, this course is entirely focused on FortiGate firewall, one product only. No Forti analyzer, manager, or access point or anything like that. Okay. It's a single product, FortiGate firewall. Now, that being said, how we are going to proceed? First point, we are going to first understand the concept in theory. I will tell you the concept. I'm not going to hear, it's like I'm not the person who will just like, for example, if I tell you, hey, if the OSPF neighborship is stuck in an X start state, check your MTU on both the firewalls. Make sure that the MTU is same and your issue will be solved. Now that's a half-baked information. Because now the real question is, why do you think that the mismatch in the MTU caused the OSPF neighborship stuck in the access start, right? You should know that. You should ask this question to yourself. Why this caused the problem? Okay. If someone is saying, hey, I think your traffic through the IPsec VPN is not going, although your VPN is up. So just check your NAT-T. Make sure that the NAT-T is enabled on both the sides. Why? Why did the NAT-T cause the problem in traffic movement, but not with the VPN negotiation? What did it do? What was the root cause of it? Right? So when I say that first we will try to build the theory concept, means we will try to understand the behind the scene action of each and everything. Okay, why we need it? What was the problem? So first problem statement, then the solution. Once we have built up our concept in the mind, then I will prove that same concept in the lab. Keep in mind, we are network guys, right? We believe nothing apart from logs. It's not my words against yours or yours against mine. That's not how this domain works. It's all about the logs. What I see in the logs, I will believe that. Simple, right? So whatever concept we are going to build in the first phase, the second phase is to prove that in the lab. Okay, so that it will validate that, okay, what I understood, let's say I have tried to tell you some concept, right? So something would have been framed in your mind, right? You would have got a fair amount of an idea, okay, hey, this is what the Rohan is saying. Now when I show you this in the lab, Maybe what you understood will vary with what I'm showing you in the lab, or maybe you will rectify your understanding. Okay, so in short, you will be able to build a strong concept. Okay, hey, this is what I see, this is what the thought is. So now there is no doubts onto it. Once we are done with that, then the third part, what I do is I love talking about real-time production challenges. I will be talking on to each and every topic. I will give you some discussion points. Now, to be honest, right now, some of you might be saying that I'm looking forward to learn that, but when I take the batches, most of the people do not take interest in learning those things. Okay, but it's in your best interest that whenever I will put a scenario to troubleshoot, it's not the question of right and wrong. It's like question of your thought process. Give your inputs, what you think, what you could have done in that situation. Okay, and then I will help you out to think through it. Okay, because keep in mind, being a network guy, if your approach is to solve a problem, you are making a biggest blunder. You should never try to solve a problem. Never. You should always try to narrow down the problem. There are two different things. See, and a client is not able to reach to the internet, that's a problem statement. But that could have been caused because of DNS problem, because of gateway unreachability, because of fluctuation in the ISP, because of packet loss, because of latency, right? Because of some misconfiguration on our devices, right? Because of some issues on intermediate path, because of some incorrect ISP path routing. There can be a number of reasons, right? Why that customer would have seen this problem. So if you try to solve that problem, you will end up in a wrong way. You will take more time to fix the issue. But if you try to narrow down that what caused it, then it's a very easy way to go around it, because you are trying to remove that, okay, this is not the problem. DNS is not the problem. Gateway is not the problem. Routing is not the problem. This is not the problem, right? So then you find, okay, hey, this is causing the problem. So now you know the problem statement. Hence, now you can apply the fix onto it. Now you know what I have to do. Maybe I have to change the configuration on my device, or maybe on the peer device or whatsoever, right? So I will help you to think through it. Okay, so that's the third phase of this course. So this is how we are going to proceed. Try to build the concept, prove it in the lab, and third, brainstorm onto it. Clear with the approach? And I think that answers your question, Amandeep. Amandeep Singh.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I see one more question about the simulator practice and all. So I will like come to this point, but let me first show you the topics, what we are going to cover in the Fortigate Firewall. Okay. And then I will jump onto this.
Rohan, just wanted to ask you one thing, like what would be the duration of the like class on the daily basis?
It's not a daily class.
No, I mean to say like on the Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. I will like come to all those points. Just like let me go through the topics first, and then I will come to that.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay, I see one more question of Martin is about the certification. So the FortiGate firewall, right? That is what you're talking about, Martin?
Yes.
Okay. I will answer this question just in next few minutes. Okay. Now let me share the screen. So see in here the topics. I believe my screen is visible, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. So now see in here, the topic what you're seeing is with reference to NSE4 and 7. I will tell you, maybe some of you would have a question that now the certification and structure of the Fortigate firewall has changed. So there is no NSE4 and 7, but I will show you what I mean when I say 4 and 7. Okay. The structure has changed in terms of to earn the badges, not the certifications. Okay. So NSE4 and 7 is still a valid examination, and it is a core examination what you have to pass on to earn a certain FCCS and FCSS certifications. Okay, so these are the core examinations. So 4 and 7 is still valid. Now, the content what you're seeing here belongs to the NSE4. which an NSE4 examination requires you to be aware of the firewall basic structure. It wants you that you should know about how to configure, manage the firewall, and it also wants you to know about the basic troubleshooting, as where to see logs, where to check events, what to make a sense out of it. Okay, so these are the basic requirements what the NSE4 is going to check when you will go on an examinations of that. So the key topics of the NSE4 is listed in here, where you can see that it wants you to know about the introduction and the basic configuration of the Fortigate firewall, right? And then you have this understanding of the security fabric, that what is the security fabric as a feature. Okay, the policies, nattings, the firewall authentication in terms of the what would say administrative manageability. Okay, so that is what it comes in here, admin. Okay, so we will see that how you can integrate your firewall with the LDAP, with the radius, okay, or the single sign-on. Okay, so how does your firewall integrate with that? Keep in mind, we are not going to do or like see how does the radius works and all. That is not our purview. That's a Microsoft domain structure. Okay, but being a network guy, what I have to deal with the authentication part, that is something which we will see in here. Okay. Now, logging and monitoring, the basics where you can see the logs, how you can identify the events, how to read those logs. Okay. How does the firewall make use of the certificate structure? Okay. How does it help the firewall to do its job and help to secure your traffic networks and all? These are the UTM features here listed. UTM means Unified Threat Management. Okay, so these are the features what we are going to focus on. Apart from these, there are few more UTM features what we are going to focus on. Like I think file filter is not mentioned here, video filter is not mentioned here, DNS filter is not mentioned here. Okay, so these filters will also be something which we will be covering here. In terms of the VPN, we are going to focus on the SSL VPN as well as the IPsec. Okay, so IPsec and SSL VPN are the two VPN topics what we are going to focus and like learn. Routing, in the routing, we are going to learn the static routes, PBR, policy-based routing. We are going to learn the BGP, OSPF. That is what we are going to learn. Okay, SD-WAN as a concept, yes, of course, we are going to learn and see how does the SD-WAN function. Okay, we will be able to do the lab as well for the SD-WAN with reference to the Fortigate firewall. The concept of the VDOMs, high availability, that means the cluster concept. Okay, how and why do we need a cluster? How does the cluster helps us to mitigate the problem? Why it is there for, right? So we will try to understand the functioning of the clusters as well. Proxy functioning as in terms of the inspections. That is what we are going to do. We will see how does the certificate helps the firewall to see what is going inside the packets and all, and what is the proxy functioning of the firewall. Okay, and diagnostic means basic troubleshooting. Now, these are the NSE4 topics, right? Now, let me show you. Let's see. Yes, please.
What is this VDOM?
VDOM is virtual domain. It is a concept which helps your physical firewall to be segregated in multiple logical firewalls. So on it's like just like creating a virtual partition. Okay, so like you have a hard disk where you create drive C, D, and D, right? Okay, so in the same fashion, you can create multiple FortiGate firewalls inside a single firewall.
Okay. And which topics cover this load balancing and
SD-WAN.
redundancy?
SD-WAN.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And that authentication part covers that user
This is here.
authentications and all. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me show you the NSE7. NSE7 is a higher level examination which tests the in-depth knowledge of the Fortigate firewall. See, let me tell you what is the difference between NSE4 and 7 in a simple layman term. See, if you are an NSE4 certified, that means you know that if I have to block a certain website, I have to configure the web filter, and I will call the web filter in the internet policy. So you know this. If something is not working, you know that, okay, hey, if the web filter what I have created, and if it is not doing its job what I am supposed to do, then I know where to check the logs. I will go into the login forward traffic logs or the UTM web filter logs and see whether it is stopping or not. This is what is expected from you in NSE4. But if you are NSE7 certified, then apart from the things what you know in the NSE4, it is also expected that you know how does the web filter work. What is the content inside a packet that the firewall is looking into? You exactly know that if I have configured a web filter to block yahoo.com, so you know that in the packet where the firewall is seeing yahoo.com, how it is taking the action. You know all that behind the scene action. So NSE7 requires you to have in-depth knowledge, whereas NSE4 does not. Now look into the contents of the NSE7, what you are seeing on the screen right now. Isn't it the same as what we saw in the NSE4? Same, right? The only thing you will see difference is AD VPN, which is nothing but the IPsec advanced form, that is hub and spoke. In like layman term, we call AD VPN as an hub and spoke, or the Cisco guys would refer it as an DM VPN. Okay, but rest all you see, same, right? The topics are same. So that's why this course is designed to club NSE4 and 7 in a single attempt. Because there is no need that I will tell you something, but I will not go in the depth of it, right? What's the point of learning that? So whatever we will start, like I said, we will start from basics and go up to the extent to verify it in the debugs and logs and see and what goes behind the scene. Okay, so that's why first thing, we will try to build up the concept. Second, verify in the lab. And third, we will have a brainstorming session onto that. Clear? With the modules, what we are going to cover? I see some messages. Let me read that out. Geographic restrictions is not a topic, brother. When we are going to learn about the policies, there is an address object type called geo addresses. Okay, where you can create any address based upon the geographic regions, and you can call that in order to stop or allow the traffic from a certain geographic countries. Okay, so it's not something which is a different topic. It is just included in the policy part. Okay. Okay, I see one more question. I see one more question what you have asked, but I cannot answer that question on the live streaming. Okay, so Amandeep, you have to hold on to it. Okay.
Hello, Rohan.
Yes, please.
Actually, the thing is, no, I'm working for a financial company, okay, and there is around 30 firewalls, Fortinet Firewall, which is connected to the IPsec VPN, SD-WAN with the BGP, okay. So I have to work on that as well, but I'm working as for the SOC part as well. Like suppose some alert has been generated, some like critical malicious activity has been generated, no. So I have to search on the firewall as well, clear the logs, or sorry, not log the clear the logs, just analyze the logs, analyze the packets where had been there's some handshake has been done or not. So I'm a little bit based on that security part as well. So it will be covered in this scenario, in this agenda.
Yes. So whatever you like talked about, that is what the firewall is supposed to do, right? So if we are learning the Fortigate firewall, that means I'm like supposed to manage all those threats and all, and I should know how to do it, right? See, I have seen a lot of customers who what they do is like I'm just giving an unsupporting example. I've seen a lot of customers what they do is they apply the IPS and AV profile everywhere on all the policies. That is what they do.
Right,
Now
correct, correct.
that's not a good configuration. If I look on the firewall, I know how good that guy is, because setting up the firewall, allowing everything, allowing every IPS and antivirus does not make your firewall secure. It makes your firewall little heavy and slower, to be honest, because you are trying to tell the firewall that, hey, check everything, each and bits and bytes, whatever it is there, do it. And of course, that will require a lot of CPU and like memory resource. And after a certain span of time, when your business requirement will rise, these problems will come out. You will see that your network traffic is slow. And then the customers will start complaining that, hey, our when we try to access certain application or certain services, it is very slow as compared to if I remove your firewall. Okay. So now that's not the problem of the firewall. That's the problem of the guy who did the configuration. You must be optimizing the configuration. Okay. So optimizing means you should exactly know where and why you need to put something. Okay. So this is a point what I'm trying to add on to it. Like you said that you are running on there are multiple IPsec VPNs managed on the SD-WAN and running over the BGP. In short, you are saying that I'm trying to form the BGP neighborship over the IPsec VPN structure. Okay. And all your traffic is going through all in that. So yes, if you know how does the VPN works, you know how does the BGP is going to be formed on to it. Most likely you are going to have, like what example you mentioned, most likely you are having an AD VPN setup. Okay, that is what I understood.
Right.
Yeah,
Correct.
so you should know how does the AD VPN works. Now keep in mind one more thing, and I will show this in my lab as well. Let me show you this. Let me stop sharing the screen, and this will answer one of the question of someone who asked about that. What is the lab structure and all? So let me show you that. Okay, just give a moment. Do you see my screen, guys? Screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So this is the lab what I have. Once you enroll into the courses, each one of you will receive your own respective lab. Okay. You will log in this way. Let me first close this. So you will see all these labs in here. We have all the labs what you want. I can create the labs for you. The only thing you cannot do is create your own lab. Whatever lab you want to create or you want to practice on, you have to show me the diagram. I will create it for you. There are a lot of labs what I have created based upon the people who wanted it. Okay, so I can do it. That's not a problem. There is no limitation as what many labs you can have. You want thousands of lab, I can create thousands of lab. It's up to you. Now, that being said, see, what I was trying to show you is, this is the basic lab. See how simple my lab is. Most of the lab activity I will be doing on this. Say it's a CPC who is connected to a router, Cisco router, and Cisco router is pointing to the firewall. Firewall is pointing to what? ISP. Simple. PC, router, firewall, ISP. It's that simple. Now, why? Why I have kept this lab very simple? See, if I know how does a PCA is pinging PCB, how does that work? Do you think that I need to learn that how does a PCA is able to ping thousands of the PCs? Or how thousands of the PCs are trying to access the Google? If I know how my PC is trying to access the Google, I know now that how thousands of PCs will be trying to access the Google, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
The scalability does not change the concept. That is what my statement is. A scalability of the configuration does not change the behavior of the network traffic. Three-way handshake will work in the same manner for my PC as it will work for thousands of other PCs or thousands of other routers or the firewalls for that matter. TCP three-way handshake nature does not change for a laptop, for a mobile, for the desktop, for the router, for the firewall, or for the SD-WAN for that matter. It does not change. It remains same. When I ask this question, okay, hey, how many devices you have worked on? People will say that I've worked on Cisco's, routers, firewall, SD-WAN, PCs, and blah, 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 whatnot, right? But to be honest, in the network, there are only 2 devices. There is no Cisco router and all. There's only 2 devices in the network. That's how the network sees it. It's not me, I'm saying that, but that's how what I felt that this is how the network is designed. There are only 2 devices. Those are client and server, nothing else. There's no other third device, man. Client means some device means the device who is going to send the first packet. That is client. Now that first packet can be like sent from a PC, from your mobile phone, from your router, from your switch, from your firewall, from your SD-WAN, from your LB. Whoever is sending the first packet, that's the client. And whoever is responding to that, that's a server. That's how the entire network is. Correct? Does that make sense? and think, right? This is what the client and server is. And this is why when you see the IPS signatures, your IPS signature has only two targets, client and server. Either the attacks are designed to exploit your clients, or attack is designed to exploit your servers. You will never see that attack is designed to exploit the router, exploit the firewall, the PC, or nothing like that. It's client and server, simple. It's that simple. Okay. So when I say that we will try to focus on the concepts, I want to know if this PC is trying to reach something over the internet, how did it do it? If you know this, your network is done. Because now maybe the scalability of your company is a very big one, but it doesn't change the fact that this is how the PC reaches to the internet. Right? And same goes true for your IPsec VPN. You may have thousands of VPNs deployed, and I will talk about that when I will touch the IPsec VPN topic and all, but let me give you a gist of it. The company may give you a firewall which is having 3,000 VPNs. So does it mean that now my life is going to be hell, man? I'm scared. If something goes wrong, I'm not sure what clue I have got. Not at all. Scalability does not change the behavior. It's that simple. If I know how does a router 1 establish the VPN with the router 2, I know how a single router is establishing the VPN with the 3,000 firewalls. It's that simple. Clear? So allow me some time and I will change your thought process. I will make everything easy. I will, whatever the things that is having a taboo in the network domain, I will try to break it down. You just have to follow my lead, follow the concept. That's all. Okay. You do not learn the configuration. I'm okay with that. And configuration is something which is not needed to be learned, man. See here, IPsec VPN Fortigate, right? Configuration. Do a Google search, man. You will find it. See, there are a lot of links which will tell you how to set up an IPsec VPN configuration. I'm not going to tell you this, man. Of course, I will show you how to build up and all, but this is not the gist of this course. Okay, the thing what really matters is what is going behind the scene. How does the VPN helps to secure the network? What if something goes wrong? How will I know where to look at? What each and every messages carry? What I have to see into it? What does it mean? These are the real things what we are going to answer in this course. Make sense? Am I clear with how the lab is structured and the design and the what is the process behind it? Doubts onto this?
No.
Okay. So my labs are pretty simple, man. Okay. You might find it like a child's play, but that is what it is. Okay. I'm not here to show you some complex design to give you some scary feel or some kind of a cool feel. That is not what I'm here for. I'm simply here to tell you how does a PC tries to send a traffic to the Google. That's all. Okay, that is what all matters. And you will be surprised to see what all you need to do. See, you know what? Let me be honest in here. And I think most of you would be working guys. So you would agree with what I say. You will hardly see a customer calling you and saying that, hey, I'm not able to form the BGP neighborship, or please do the BGP configuration. Hardly. Because their own engineers will be able to do that. BGP configuration, OSPF configuration, they will do it. Not a problem. What they mostly want you to do is route manipulation. Meaning they will say, hey, I have a BGP neighborship running, but as per the BGP, my preferred path is via the, let's say, IPsec VPN. And secondary best path is something via the, let's say, some port 3 or port 4 or some like VLAN, something like that. So they will say that, no, I don't want it. I want that my VLAN must be the primary path and the VPN must be the secondary path. So they want you to change the BGP behavior, route manipulation. That is what they will ask you to do. They will say, you know what, I am sending these many routes to my neighbor. I don't want to. I only want to send this subnet, a single default route. Don't send all the routes. That is what they will be asking you to do. They will not ask you to, hey man, come and do the BGP configuration. They themselves can do it, right? Anyone can do it. Just look for the BGP configuration, right? Why will someone ask you which is there on the internet? Why will someone ask you to do that? But the real thing is route manipulation. Now you can only manipulate the BGP and OSPF behavior if you know exactly what to change. What are the features? What are the options there that will help me to achieve what I need, right? So that is what the focus is going to be. So to know that, of course, I have to touch the BGP basics. I need to tell you what are the parameters, what are the BGP behaviors, how you will segregate between an iBGP or the eBGP. What do they differ in the functioning, in the route push and all. So that is something which we need to know, because then only I know what are my tools, what I can use to achieve what my customer is asking for, right? Correct. So the whole thing is revolving around just one thing, concept. Configuration is not a problem. Okay, concept. That's all. Clear? And the more you ask to me, the better it is for me. The more I talk, the more things you will learn. Okay. Keep in mind one thing, I'm not someone who is a typical teacher kind of a thing. I'm not like that. I'm simple like you guys. I also work, you also work. So whatever I tell you is with reference to the production, real things, what really matters on the table, not something unwanted as stuffs. Okay, what you are never going to use in your day-to-day troubleshooting. That is something which I will not talk about. That's a waste of time. So we will focus on really what matters. Okay, and if something you have got the challenges, some questions within what you do as your job, feel free to ask in the class. Okay, let's have a brainstorming session onto it. Okay, we all are going to learn at the same time. Clear? Now that being said, the next point is this course is designed. Sorry, this course is going to happen on the weekdays, right? Sorry, weekends basis, that is Saturday and Sunday. The class duration is going to be 4 hours. Okay, but it is not an hard fixed 4 hours. You will have breaks whenever you want me to. Generally, I take one break at the interval of 2 hours. But if you want me to have more than one break, that's fine. The pace of the batch is entirely up to you guys. The batch overall consecutively will decide how the pace will be. I will start with my own pace, what I feel is good. Okay. What I've been using for all the previous batches. But if anyone, or if overall collectively this batch feels that, okay, I should go in more pace, I will take up the pace. If you want me to go slowly, I will go more slowly. Not a problem. So how will the pace of the batch will be? That is entirely up to you guys. Okay. Now, like I said, the duration of the class is going to be 4 hours. The reason behind that is because on an average, I need 50 plus hours, 50 plus hours to complete a single product. That is Fortigate Firewall. Now, if you will divide that, okay, you will see that it will come around 6 to 7 weeks. 6 to 7 weeks means almost around 2 months. Okay, so that's what it will go, because we only have 2 days, right? So that's why we have an 8 hours of class. Okay, because when you will divide with that, you will see that it is coming around 6 to 7 weeks. Okay. So that's why the 8-hour class, because if we reduce the time before, it's like from the 8 to let's say 7 or 6, which is eventually going to be around 7, what I think, because considering the breaks and all, it will be eventually 7. But let's say that we further reduce it for one more hour, then what you will see is that the batch has extended beyond 2 months. Okay, so now the thing is, if something what I've taught you today, I'm damn sure you will never have it in mind after 2.5 months, right? So learning slowly or too slowly is also not a good thing, because you will keep on losing what I'm telling you. And on a course of the batch, you will lose the interest, because it is going to be very lengthy, right? So you will lose the interest. Okay, so we have taken a lot of batches. Okay, I have taken a lot of classes. So I have come to a point that 4 hours is good, and it is not neither a high number or neither a very low number. It's a kind of an average thing, what can maintain all the aspects that you cannot, that you will not lose the interest in like learning the firewall, as well as this is not also going to be too slow or like too fast. Okay. Any doubts in reference to the class timings and all? And yes, the timings as far as concerned, it will start as 9 a.m. IST, 9 a.m. in the morning, and it will count 4 hours from there. That is around 1 p.m. IST. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And Rohan just wanted to like confirm with all the members here in the meeting, like if we can start them like the class at 8 a.m.
So this is something which is it's like you guys have to take a call when the batch will start.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm
So
asking
it seems like
everyone in the
this is not the platform of as of now, because here the people are yet not have come into the course. Okay,
Okay.
so they have to
Okay,
decide.
got it.
Once we have the official first day of the class, this is
Okay.
not the first day of the class. Okay, this is just a
Okay.
demo.
I got
So
it.
there we can have a talk and like come to a conclusive point when and how you want to start the class.
Okay. Thank you. Sure.
What is the fee for this course?
That is something which is not my domain, brother. That is something which will be answered by the coordinator there.
Guys, I shared a WhatsApp link. You can ask pricing and all, the lab access, how to get the access and all. So my team is working on that. So you can WhatsApp on that number, guys.
I have a one query. So in case I am not able to attend any class, so can I get these live video lectures on my
Yes.
portal?
Yes, all the classes, whatever we take is live recorded. Sorry, is like recorded, and you will receive that recording in next 24 hours on your portal. Okay, where you can access it whenever you want, and you can review it as many times as you want. Okay, there's
And
a limitation onto it.
sir, and one more thing I want to ask that, in case I have one query, any query, so where you I want to ask you any question to you only answer. So what is the platform? How can I ask you any question, anything apart from the class?
Got your point. Got your point. Can I take this question?
What you can do, you can share whatever is your question and all, and I'll pass on to Rohan sir, and I'll take answer and I'll forward to you guys. Like we can
Thank
create
you.
one group where we can discuss each and everything.
Like
Yeah, that's it. That sounds good. Thank you.
like
Yeah.
it would be a WhatsApp group or something else.
Yeah, for the students, I'll create a one WhatsApp group, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And will that recordings have some expiry date also?
Yes, for a year.
Okay.
And after a year, it's hardly 1,000 rupees where you can renew the course, like the video. And the plus point is, let's take example, after a year, you are renewing the video, so you're getting a latest content.
And Rohan sir also provide the one-to-one batches also, because this time do not suit me.
Yeah, one-to-one is also available so that we can discuss later on, Aman. So I shared my number. You can contact me and then let's have a separate discussion on one-to-one session.
Okay.
Okay, so I was looking forward to show you that how the firewall looks like, but firewall seems to expire. So we can wipe it because we are using the freeware software. So free 2 weeks, you have to clean your firewall and you have to start it fresh where you can build the firewall. So this is something which I generally do in the first day of the class where I will tell you how to bring up the entire lab structure. Okay, so then we will start learning the firewalls, right? So, but let me do it here quickly. And I see there are a few questions. But Gaurav, can you just stop the live streaming if it
Yes,
is possible?
just 1 minute.